Chooki and Pleep, Science and Sports.
Hi, I'm Chooki and I love science.
And I'm Pleep. I love sports.
This is the news from June 2021. Here's what we have for science. One of the world's oldest science experiments comes up every 20 years, including this past April. In 1879, William James Beal, a botanist, in other words, a scientist who studies plants at Michigan State University, filled 20 bottles with seeds. Scientists are trying to find out how long seeds can last and still be able to grow. This is now called the Beal seed viability experiment. And the results are in. 11 seeds germinated. That means they sprouted.
Alright, here's the world of sports. You ever looked at the Hawaiian flag? It's an American state, but has the British Union Jack symbol on top. So what? Well, there's a bit of a problem because the U.S. Olympic surfers from Hawaii don't want to carry the American flag. They want to carry the Hawaiian flag. There's a logic behind this. In the World Surf League, there is an understanding. You represent Hawaii, where surfing basically comes from, or you represent the US, but not both. There's some tension going on here. Don't forget the Summer Olympics is happening next month. It starts July 23rd.
Ooh. Can you imagine getting a surgery without a scar? First, let's break these two words down. Surgery is when you go to the doctor to have something fixed by a special doctor. A scar is a mark that lasts on your skin for your whole life. Sometimes, no matter what happens in a surgery, a scar appears, which can sometimes make people feel sad. All that might change one day. A new study shows that a drug that has been around for 20 years, called verteporfin, stops scars from happening with mice. It might also be true for humans.
Do you or your dad like golf? Would you like to spend about 1,000 hours fixing up a golf course by hand just to play for one day? Well, that's exactly what Chris Powell did in Wales, part of the United Kingdom. During COVID lockdown, he looked at old maps and used a metal detector to bring the Rhayader golf's links course back to life. It first existed in 1908 and completely disappeared in the late 1960s. It's great to have passion and drive, isn't it? Get it? It's a golf joke.
Ever wonder how really big dinosaurs could fly? In the late Cretaceous period, there was a really big group of petrosaurs known as azhdarchids. They had necks like giraffes, and they could still fly. How did they do it? Cretaceous Williams, a PhD student at the University of Illinois at Urbana-Champaign, had an azhdarchid fossil from Morocco and did a CT scan of it. A CT scan is a way that scientists and doctors can see what the insides of animals and humans look like in 3D. Cretaceous Williams found that the azhdarchid had a unique neck structure, like no other structure science has ever seen in animals. Something like a complex grouping of bicycle spokes inside the azhdarchid that kept it light enough to fly. Okay. And our question of the day. What does a botanist do? A botanist fixes golf courses. B, a botanist studies surfboards. C, a botanist studies plants. And the answer is C, botanist studies plants. Good job! Thanks for listening to Science and Sports Kidlines with Chooki and Pleep. There's lots more news for kids at littlenewsyears.com. We're also on YouTube and major podcasting platforms. May your sweetness shine and your colors glow. Sources for today's Kidlines include the New York Times, the New York Post, and Smithsonian Magazine.